Guys, Happy New Year. This is Dazzling Dave, and this is the international fan reaction. Global fans giving their verdict. Frustration across the world, actually, on that 3-3 draw with Brighton.
Hey, Dave, Wolfman Jeff here, out on the porch. And boy, that first half was an impressive first half. And yeah, that first half, I really liked that first half. And yeah, that first half, Dave, was quite the first half. It's 2021, so things obviously will get better than 2020. Maybe, kinda. It just won't happen as quick as we want it to. And our hopes were raised, and we had 6 players that normally start that were unavailable. Obviously, you know, Johnny's been out for a long time, and we know that Roll's out for a while. But Dendonka, Bali, Marsal, and now Daniel Pedence. So really what we did in the first half, I think, was quite remarkable. Hats off to Graham Potter. I think, honestly, he's the man of the match because how he responded was fantastic, and he knew how to adjust. And I know Nuno was expecting that change. Honestly, I think I don't want to blame it all on a small side, but there's a point where Nuno didn't really have a lot of options coming off the bench. So he made an adjustment, and it just wasn't enough. And we're a one-half team. Usually our one-half's in the second half. And we were hoping against all hope that the second half wasn't going to be when we crumble. And often when we do well in the first half, we've done that lately, and that's very frustrating. Really, that first half was brilliant, and it looked so good, and it's so frustrating because now it all seems like it's down to the toilet at the end, because that's what happened. Because that second half was that dreadful. That was one of the worst second halves I've seen in a while, and we've seen some pretty dreadful play in the last month or two. Yeah, I know we're going to make some changes in the January transfer window. Obviously, striker is going to be key, but I think we need another defender and maybe another, other players in there. So I expect we're not just going to get the one striker. We should get a few more in there. I know Nuno wants a small side because he wants to make sure that we don't have the problems that come with that. But yeah, Dave, this was very frustrating. Truly, when a draw feels like a loss. Wolfman Jeff, here on the porch in Alabama.
Hi everyone, it's Asa from Parma here. So it's dark outside and the light on my usual desk is broken, so it's kind of dark there. So here I am on the floor with a little bit of light and Def Leppard poster in the background, trying to find the words to describe this match. Very different first half. 4 goals in 40 minutes, it's pretty weird for us, especially in the first half. Saiz made a huge mistake on the 1-0, but scored a few minutes later, so let's say we kind of forgive him. And unlucky own goal from Burn, which also gave us the opportunity to score our 3rd goal. And what a nightmare it must have been for him. So first half we got the lead, and in my opinion, along with the lead, we got way too much confidence. As soon as second half started, troubles began. Brighton was 3-1 down. They came back quite quickly. They played way better than us, and we risked a lot of time, actually. And not gonna lie, we played awful in the second half. Literally, we didn't show up on the pitch. Defensively, we look pretty shaky, and I look forward for Bali to come back because we really need him. And as I said a few days back, there is something wrong with the team. and we can all see it. And this attitude is just not right, because you can't throw away 3 points like this. So there is now a 10 days break, and I hope Nuno and the team takes time to figure out what is wrong before facing Everton. And we're also facing WBA away on January the 16th, and I personally dislike the Albion. I think we all do, but I really dislike the Albion. So we needed to get back on track. So take care and see you all on the next review. Bye.
Purcell checking in from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. It is a snowy day here, obviously. Just finished watching Wolves, simply put, drop 2 points against Brighton. Tale of not only two halves, but two halves of the actual football pitch itself. Defensively, absolutely atrocious. We looked terrible defensively. We were terrible on set pieces. I think that's 10 matches now without a clean sheet, which is obviously something that we rely so heavily on, is our defensive structure. And offensively look good. I mean, in bursts, right? Slowed down at times in the second half and seemed to run out of ideas. And again, Fabio Silva, running around the pitch all over the place, but not really anything incisive. And his touch looks heavy. And I understand he's a young kid, and I'm not picking on one person because, like I said, two halves of the football pitch. Defensively, I could pick on everybody being dreadful, and offensively, we looked really good at times. So just frustrating, very frustrating. That was 2 drop points against a side we should beat, and certainly in a match that we should win after scoring 3 first half goals on terrible defending and allowing the first goal too. So anyways, I'm not going to go on and on and on about it. It's a point, but it's certainly 2 points dropped. So anyways, hopefully everybody's well. Hopefully everybody's safe. As you can probably tell, I'm a little cold standing out here, so I'm going to go outside and drink a couple beers and maybe ignore that match and try to move on to the next one again. Onwards and upwards. Cheers, everybody.
Take care. Brighton, Thailand. Well, talk about a game of two halves. First half we went behind early. Aiden, he slipped when the fella was about to cross it in, and Sace got caught out near post. They went 1-0 up. Poor defending. Gradually got back into the game, and then got the deserved equaliser after good work by Semedo across. Sace put it in. Followed up with the Neto shot, which palmed straight into the chest of, I can't remember, Byrne, I think his name was, went into the post, and then we got a penalty after the same fella, Byrne, upended Traore. 3-1 half time, cruising. No disrespect to Brighton, but Wolves were home and dry. 3-1 out of half time, never in any danger. But blimey, 15-20 seconds into the second half, straight from a long ball they get a penalty. João Martino tripped a guy in the box, but João does that in midfield in other games. He's lost his pace and he's inclined to trip somebody up in midfield, or when they're going through, he is inclined to do it. So that made it 2-3. Nuno decided to change, which at the time I thought was a good thing, but in hindsight it wasn't. And then they got an equaliser through dunk off a deflection by Sace. First half performance, 8 and a bit. Second half performance.
Amy from Wolverhampton in the UK, international fan reaction to the 3-3 draw against Brighton last night. And after the initial frustrations, a lot of frustrations with the game, we should not be throwing away a 3-1 lead, and we didn't play particularly well in the second half. But that aside, Brighton are 100% Wolves is both team. I have quite a fear of Brighton because I was at that fateful away day when we got relegated to League One, and there was tears at the Amex Stadium. So whenever we play Brighton away, those memories always come back to me. But I always remember when I was at school, we were at a night match and it was against Brighton. This was years ago, and we lost. And I remember being in the car on the way back with my dad and my sister, and Dad was just like, we just never beat Brighton, and we just can't seem to be in Brighton. And I know that it's weird jinxes, but we cannot beat Brighton. that is my summary. So on to the next, where hopefully we can get a bit of a cup run, and maybe we might be able to buy a striker this week. Who knows? But happy 2021, and yeah, we can't beat Brighton.
Dave with New York Wolves here. Right after New York's 0-0 to Sawi should have wrapped up the 3 points. He'll be gutted. He was sitting in the net when I just walked out, just so despondent. Probably easier to score. Gutted. I mean, we went down early. Maybe Ain't Nouri could have done better on the cross. Maybe Saiz could have defended the cross better. I saw someone blame Patricio. I don't think he could have done much, but we came back into it and we were dominant the rest of the first half, deservedly up. And at half time, you think up 3-1. We've all been Wolves fans for a while, so we know it's never over until it's actually over. So you were always a bit worried. And then 14 seconds into the second half, Moutinho, of all people, the most experienced player in the team, dangles a leg and gives him a silly penalty 14 seconds in. And then it was all them. I mean, credit to them for battling back. They changed system. We were just under a little bit of siege for second half, and we looked pretty weak. That chance for Otasawi at the end was, if I remember right, the only decent chance we had second half. So based on that, you take the point and move on. But boy, does it feel like a defeat. And I'm starting to think this Brighton hoodoo curse thing is actually real. Because that, after what I saw today, you've got to start thinking that. So, anyway, we didn't lose. We got a point away from home at a team that's battling against relegation. Take the positives, and like I said in the last comments, this is a massively transitional season for us, with the players that left, with the players we've got injured, long term and short term, and trying to change the change the way we play. So it's going to be a struggle this season. I think I'm not worried about relegation, and hopefully we see some positive news in January with transfer signings coming in. Hopefully some positive news this month about Raul coming back as well. That would be massive. And hopefully push on and get a good run of results in the back end of the season to hopefully get back up towards the European places. So really gutted. Feels like a defeat, but it wasn't. And we move on to the next one, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Guys, Andy here from Montreux in Switzerland. At the end of that match, I'm actually pleased just to take away 1 point. It could have gone against us again, and we could have lost all points. There was a point in the match, though, where we were 3-1 up, and it looked like we were going to get 3 points. And then, well, anyone's guess towards the end. My man of the match tonight is going to be Adama in our team. I felt he put in a strong performance. I think he lacked support in the box. I thought Saiz did another good game tonight, and great header by him to score that goal. Obviously, the penalty from Neves was well taken, but really we've got to start putting more balls in the net from through play, not from penalties. And obviously the other goal was an own goal from an attacking piece. We're still half the time doing short corners, which is too much. We should be from set pieces striking the ball in and looking for someone's head, and hopefully the January window period will bring us a striker and another attacking midfielder to bring the ball forwards. I got nothing else to add. I don't think our game plan is going to change materially, or our strategy is going to change materially, until we add some people and we get some people back from injuries. To have 6 key people off, being pragmatic, is unhelpful and would be unhelpful for any of the teams in the Premier. So middle of the table is probably where we are until we've sorted that out.
Hello there, morning from Athens. Brighton 3, Wolves 3. What to say about that performance, really? I thought we were 3-1 up at half time without really creating chances. So I thought we were really lucky, actually, at half time to have such a great lead. I mean, it was a great header by Saiz to score that goal the way he did. But otherwise, a penalty, they were a really stupid penalty that Neves converted, and an own goal out of nowhere. So you think at 3-1 at half time, that's it, job done. But within second half, a silly penalty to give away by Moutinho. I imagine Nuno was absolutely furious with that, and it was pretty much downhill from that point on, really. I thought Traore played quite well, came forward, looked quite menacing. but he's got no outlets at the moment. Silva's just not good enough, unfortunately. He might be, but he needs time. And that showed, like we'd come forward, and there was no one to give that final ball to. Neto had opportunities in the first half also to pass the ball over, and ended up cutting back and passing it back because there was just no one to give it away to. So for that, I'd give Traore man of the match. I also thought Saiz played well again. I mean, it's a shame we couldn't put Saiz up front, so at least we'd have a target man to put the crosses in the air to. Yeah, disappointing result. We could have lost that game. If it wasn't for that stupid own goal, we would have lost. So I think actually quite lucky to come away with a point. Nuno's got his homework to do. Disappointing after the previous two games, because I thought we played well against Tottenham and Man United. And I hope for more against Brighton. Anyway, we'll see what happens next. Always Wolves.
Hello all, this is Matt from Berlin, calling in after another disappointing Wolves result. Drawing 3-3 with Brighton, being 2 goals up at half-time and ending the game 3-3, and to be honest, being lucky to hold on. It's one of the worst second halves I've seen for a very long time. Awful mindset and game plan to try and defend a 2-goal lead, knowing that we basically can't defend at the moment. I think that's now 10 games in a row without a clean sheet. We've won 2 in 5 or 2 in 6 or something. It's a really poor run, you know. Thank God we had such a strong start to the season. You know, we're still mid-table, we're still looking up rather than down, but you know, we need to start putting together a few wins. Nothing in the Brighton game was new in terms of our failings. I think that you can say that, you know, we're missing 5 first-team players doesn't help, but at the moment, our business in January is going to be really important to how we finish the season. You know, the players we got in the summer were for the future, and some of them just aren't ready. You know, Fabio Silva isn't ready. You know, he doesn't really offer anything up front. The ball doesn't stick. His link-up play was poor yesterday. You know, he's not making any chances in the box. I have no idea if he's a good finisher, because I've never seen him have a chance, basically. Vitinha offered nothing. And you've got to wonder at 22, making his second start, you know, is he going to get better? I'm not quite sure. Aiden was really poor yesterday as well, and he's got potential, I think, but at the moment he's no better than Vinagre. And this is always a risk we had in the summer, you know, of buying these kids in without strengthening the first team, and you know, this is the risk of having a small squad, and you know, we need some strength, you know, that can come in and make the first 11 better. We need a striker that can come in now and play the rest of the season. And potentially next, we have no idea when Jimenez is back, but Fabio Silva can't do it by himself. You know, we need our injured players back, and we need to start winning games, you know, because otherwise we're looking down, and we're too good to be looking down. We shouldn't be in this position, and Nuno needs to sort it out. All right, see you next week.
Hi Dave, Andy in Melbourne here. I don't quite know what to say at this point. Thought the first half we were a tad lucky. Defending for the first goal was just terrible. Thankfully they didn't really sort of capitalise from that point on, and we got back into it. Bit of luck with the second goal. And then, I don't know what changed at half-time. I know they went to a back foot just before half-time, but we're just woeful. Just never in it, didn't look like competing, just gave the ball away too much. They obviously came out with a plan. They wanted it far more than we did. Just disappointing. Man of the match, hard to say. Thought we were all pretty poor overall. Thank God it's January. We need a striker. Not convinced that Diego Costa's the man. However, you know, we've got to do something, because as good as Silva's probably going to be in the future, he's just not there at the moment. It's looking very weak. That bench just looks threadbare, and I know we've got a lot of injuries, but we've got to be able to compete. I just didn't see any way of changing it. Really, should we have scored right at the end? Possibly. If Raul had been on the pitch, I'm sure it would have been through the back of the net, but hey ho, it's the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. It's just one day we've got to put these teams to the sword. You know, 3-1 up at half time, we should have been out of sight. Just ridiculous. Not a happy rabbit. Cheers.
So there you have it. That's their verdict. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you want to get involved with this, obviously for your country, get in touch in the comment section, and I'll let you know how you can. And finally, from myself and all of the guys and girls around the world, Happy New Year to you and your families. Onwards and upwards. It's going to be an interesting few months, that's for sure. From myself, over and out. Always Wolves.